think one of my clients hit me up the last week, and he's like, well, what did you do to learn all of the stuff that we're talking about here? And I said to him this, I said, I'm prepared to fail forward. I am a very good student of the pain. I am very persistent, and I persevere. And I think, guys and girls, I think that anybody can build a $5 million company. But I'm telling you, to climb that mountain, and I've talked about this in the past, is like climbing Mount Everest. How old are you going to be before you start to experience life like you want it? I want to tell you right now, whether you like it or not, there is a better way to do business. Hi everyone, welcome to the Business for Builders podcast. My name's Max. I am your host. I'm the CEO at Smith & Sons, remodeling experts here in Canada. Welcome to you if you're in YouTube land. It is great to have you in the house and be with you. If you're a first-time listener, I appreciate you dropping in for a little bit of a check me out. And if you're a long-time listener, I appreciate you lending me your ear. And I trust that we are, demonstrating and give you some value that you can make your business better. Maybe it's not a kick-ass business yet, but your business is becoming better. That's definitely what we're striving for here at the podcast. Just want to quickly say that, if you've got any questions or queries, feel free to drop me a line, Max at elitebusinessadvisory.com, and would love to answer some of your questions there. Alternatively, if you want to get in touch with me and just quickly chat about what's going on with your business and how you can make it better, and you want to maybe spend 30 minutes with me just bouncing some strategy around and giving me a debrief, happy for you to do that. Just shoot across to elitebusinessadvisory.com and hit the book a consultation button, and we can catch up on video call. So that would be good. Don't forget to like and subscribe, tick the bell, all that sort of good stuff. And there's a whole bunch of housekeeping out of the way. Right. Side note, B4B or Business for Builders VIP on Facebook. There's a private group there. If you're in the construction business, please don't want to come across and join the Business for Builders Facebook group if you're a baker. I'm sure you're a great person to have a beer with, but really all the information therein is got to do with the building and construction world. So, please don't come across and knock on my door if you're thinking you're going to capitalize on that group. I don't really appreciate it, and I'm pretty sure the folks in there won't appreciate it either. But if you are in the construction business, whether you're a first-year apprentice or whether you're a subcontractor, whether you're a builder or general contractor, it's a great little community to be a part of. And, just hit me up on that max at elitebusinessadvisory.com email if there's some resource that I've talked about. Maybe, I've got one email this week where I've been told he's binge listening the podcast. And so, he's reached out for a few different resources. If there's something there that you have heard me make reference to, because we are at episode 161, be sure to let me know. And I will, dig that up for you and upload it probably to the Business for Builders VIP Facebook group. So, there you go. Right, today, steak and potatoes as usual. Really what, the last 3 episodes, I think we've dove fairly deeply into scalability. And, I just thinking to myself as I was preparing to shoot this podcast, it's like I probably need to just do something that really brings to the fore the difference between just getting it full-blown, checklisty type SOP approach and really focus on maybe the human that's driving it. Because I do have the privilege of, working with several clients in the elite business advisory world, and also my general contractors that are part of Smith & Sons. And so I get a really good cross-section understanding of what is happening in the marketplace, both inside of our proprietary group, if you like, with Smith & Sons, and then, of course, the open marketplace, where I get to see feedback on, what's happening all over the world, matter of fact. So really today, I'm going to talk about understanding the importance of maintaining a balance in your understanding initially, and then an outworking would be in the physical world of will and skill. And I don't know if you've ever heard the two talked about together or not. I'm not sure that I have. I was actually driving down the road the other day, and I'm thinking, I really love swinging a hammer. I've just finished building that thing outside for for my quad and my ride-on mower or lawn tractor, whatever you want to call it. And, I really do love the creative nature of what it is that we do. I'm a carpenter by trade. It's what I grew up doing, I guess, and it's what I fed my family with. And, there is a part of me that really enjoys that side of it because I've developed the skill. But we've also, to be successful in the building world, we do need an element of will, because there's always going to be hills and valleys. As much as I like to think that we can just turn this into an evergreen, blue skies and lollipops type of environment, it doesn't come that way to us all the time. Different aspects of our business are in the valley of despair sometimes. And so what I wanted to chat with you guys and gals about today is the power of understanding skill and will, and really how those two items combine. Because really, furthermore, it's the importance of keeping that in balance. So we're going to get cracking. Really what I'm trying to do is to bring an awareness, I suppose, and help you understand the vulnerability. And in a nutshell, it's like, okay, so if I'm really good on the tools, does that mean I'm excellent as a business owner? And the answer to that question is, no, it doesn't guarantee you that. Now, you might have some natural capability or natural understanding of business concept, and it will make you a better business operator, but you don't naturally develop that. If you work on skill, like we're all trained to do, and I've had many conversations even over the last week with guys about, their situation, that why is it that, I get a builder's license, but I still don't know how to run a business, and that is the problem, that causes the issues in the marketplace. It's why that 1 out of 2 builders will go out the back door in the first 5 years. Then the 80 or 90% of the balance of those guys will go out the back door in 10 years. And so, it really is attributed to focusing on the thing. And so here's a lot of the reason why we do what we do. We focus on the thing that is rammed down our neck, the most. And so it's like, you need to be able to, for me, when I went through college in, 89, 90, 91, it was all about, doing some practical, doing some drawing, and then the technical or the theory side of construction. And so not once in my apprenticeship, in all of the months that I went to college, did any of the, lecturers or any of the, authorities in the room at the college that I went to, did they ever start to talk to me about business metrics? It was totally not on the curriculum. Now, I think when you step up and you go from being a carpenter joiner and you want to apply for a builder's license, they'll make you do a financial management course at Master Builders. And, it's cute, but unfortunately, it's probably only a 3-day course. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Hit me an email. I'm sure I'll get all the, and I'm okay with that. But the financial management side of, a certificate for in building and construction in Australia, the financial management side of it was very much an introduction. And so based on that, it's like, right, what we need to talk about is further education. So what we're not talking about is hands-on or on the tools skill development. What we're talking about is, skill development in the business side, but also making sure that we've got, things happening on a building side as well. But the other side of skill is the will. And so this is very much, I see this with different, I'm just thinking of one guy in particular, a couple of guys I know, they really are good at what they do in the area of skill, but they definitely haven't got the will to build an extraordinary kick-ass business, right? So this is where I think, what I'm trying to do is bring awareness to help you understand vulnerabilities. However, if you're just, got great skills and you just want to do $250,000 a year, then maybe hire an apprentice, but that's it. Like if you haven't got the hunger and the desire and the will to get after it, then what you're going to do is you're going to find that you're going to struggle. So I think guys and gals, if you want to build, and I used to say $1 million business, I think it was a big deal, and I think we should all do that, but I think we really want to, if we really want to set the world on fire, I think 3 to 5 million, pushing to a $10 million business in maybe 7 to 10 years or sooner if you're a ninja. I think that's where you're really going to have to double down on, understanding your product delivery methodology, but also you've got to maintain your ability to stay in the game mentally and emotionally, because it does get challenging. And I do enough business with enough guys, and you can just sense the feeling of overwhelm. So all of those that can feel a sense of overwhelm, give me a nod, hit the steering wheel. smash the head of that nail a little harder. It's just you get to the end of the day, and I'm not totally, I guess from personal experience, I am just absolutely, I think I'm to a degree, I am human, right? I'm not a fucking robot, but at the end of the day, there's an element of stickability and the fact that I feel like I'm unstoppable. And certainly, for me, what I find is a level of effectivity from the hours of like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning through till about 11 o'clock or midday. That's me doing about 5 or 6 hours, productive work, uninterrupted, because that's when I'm freshest. If you want to have a meeting with me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there'd want to be an adult beverage involved, because by then I'm just about toast. So, I think we've just got to focus on, what are our strengths, or do we develop that? So when we have that feeling of sense of overwhelm and we think we just can't go on anymore, is that the universe sending me a message to identify that I really haven't got my heart in the game? Or what it does to me is it's like, I refuse to give in. I will find a way. And I think what I do, I prefer to dig deep, so I'll be like, right, I need to compartmentalize all of this horse shit and figure out what I'm going to do first. And then what is stopping me from attacking those bits and pieces? Is it technology? Is it time? Is it communications with a third party? Is it physical infrastructure? Is a human resource, right? And so, I think if we just take a step back and we look at what's going on in our world, we can really ascertain pretty quickly as to where our deficits are. Now, I'm not saying skill or will. Like, you can't just be a guy that maybe has some pretty substandard abilities, which I've seen plenty of qualified carpenters who can't hang a door. I think I talk way too much about that. But then, you've got all of the will and all the piss and vinegar, I would say, and you've got all the motivation and passion, and yet you don't have the ability to deliver the product. And so this is a bit of a demonstration of how, if you have that imbalance, it's like, guys, you might have the ability to really build rapport with clients. You might be able to talk to clients and they, you talk a big game. You might have, heard that. And then when it comes down to it, your ability to actually back up your big mouth is non-existent, or it's very lackluster, or it's very below standard. And so, I think that some guys maybe do that because they think if I talk a big game, people won't notice that I'm a little hopeless on the product delivery or the contract administration or my communications during the sales process or all of the above. But more often than not, clients will smell it a mile away. And so that is what I'm talking about, guys. And so if you're going to make the jump from, a carpentry framing only business across to a building company and running a general contracting business, then there is a whole bunch of new rules of engagement that you need to keep your eye on, because if you do not, your ability to execute at a level of profitability that is acceptable, that's going to keep you in the game for 10 years and beyond, is going to bring you unstuck. And so it's super important that we understand that we've got to have the technical competence, but we've also got to have, the motivation and passion, because shit doesn't always work out for us. It is not always going to be blue skies and lollipops. And so this is why I'm saying it's got to be in balance. It's not skill or will, it's skill and will, and at an equal level. So that's what we've got to focus on. So, consequences of imbalance. I'm going to run, no, I'm not. I'm just going to keep talking. Consequences of imbalance. Basically, if you're going to have either a skill dominance or you're going to have a will dominance. And so that is really what we're talking about. There'll be limitations on you if you just focus on skills and go, right, I'm going to be a really good carpenter, but you pay no attention to how to market, how to develop a unique selling point, how to measure the success of your business, then you're going to have a skill dominance and not be able to really put the business together, especially if you don't have the will to win. So like I said, I'm thinking of an individual who is really good at what he does, but his ability, his desire to build a big business is just not there. And so I think what this comes down to is you figure out what level of skill you need, what level of will you need, all off the back of your level of happiness that you desire. And so, there's a whole bunch of things. I mean, I love to race karts, and I love to play music. But above all else, of course, I've got a beautiful wife and beautiful kids. But above all else, I mean, below that, I love to work in the business world. I love to see businesses working excellently. Now, not perfectly, but excellently. I like to see an element of control in a business. I like to see a high level of performance, like we focus on high performance building companies. And so, that's, if you haven't got the will and the passion and the understanding or the desire to learn new things like I've had to do, especially in the last couple of years, to really drill down on the metrics of the business, then all of the skill in the world is not going to take you to $5 million. And really, I think we should just have a $5 million club, because I'm telling you, if you can get to 5 million, you want to get to 10 million as quickly as you can, because I think you may get caught in the crossfire there, because there's going to be a lot of demand, a lot of overhead. And so we've got to make sure that the profit is there as well. So too much will, if you've got yes, I'm pumped up, I love business like you, Max, yeah, let's go. But you don't have the ability to deliver the product, or you really don't want to understand how to administer the contract, or you don't want to apply yourself to detailed estimating and understand, the metrics of the business, that is going to create an imbalance as well. And of course, then there's risk of errors, okay? And then the mistakes and the reworks and all of those negative components that go into it are really going to upset the apple cart for real. Right, so if we can get a balance, what does that look like? We would have a level of synergy where we've got innovation and efficiency, where we'll have skilled professionals that are motivated to find solutions to enhance the overall efficiency of the product delivery. And so this is where, the skill and the will together is going to help us work. So sustainable growth. So an adaptable mindset is going to be basically giving us the ability to ensure that standards, or we ensure that we sustain the growth, and that we really are delivering the product at the highest level. So, I think that if we don't focus on both of these, or we don't, we can be, I talk about the 4 levels of consciousness. And so if we don't focus on, or we don't think about, am I too skill focused and not will focused, it's almost like there's an unconscious incompetence. And so, I think we've got to be careful. So, I had one of my clients hit me up the last week, and he's like, well, what did you do to learn all of the stuff that we're talking about here? And I said to him this, I said, I'm prepared to fail forward. I am a very good student of the pain. I am very persistent, and I persevere. And I think, guys and girls, I think that anybody can build a $5 million company. But I'm telling you, to climb that mountain, and I've talked about this in the past, is like climbing Mount Everest. I mean, if I will probably drill down on the stats on Mount Everest since Edmund Hillary, I think he climbed it, and just see what the numbers were, how many climbers, or how many climbers per year, how many people fail. I think the numbers would actually be better than the failure rate that's in the construction world. I know that there's people that have tried to climb mountain. No, I don't know the people, but I've read enough and listened to enough that they will get close to the summit. They'll literally get within 3/4 of a kilometer of the summit, and they'll have to turn around and come back down. I've heard of stories where they make it to the summit and they die on the way down, lack of oxygen. So I think if we look at building a construction company, and I'll probably finish up on this, if we look at building a construction company as though our life is on the line, like it is if you were going to climb Mount Everest, I think our attention to the detail, our demeanor, our approach, to preparation, and to make sure that our lines of communication are open, that we are well rehearsed, that people around us, we've got the people around us that we need that would help us get to the, because all of these climbers have these locals that carry shit up the hill for them. They couldn't do it without them. And so, I think all of this metaphor, or this example in the physical world of climbing Mount Everest, I mean, I think building a construction business is exactly the same. The percentage of people that go up there's a lot of really good, motivated, dead people on Mount Everest. And you need to think about that, because everyone that ever started out climbing Mount Everest was pumped up and had this positivity, enthusiasm. And I'm about that. But at some point, you've got to understand that if you don't equip yourself the right way, if you don't have the infrastructure and the framework and the support around you, it's highly likely that you'll only make it halfway and you've got to come back, or you will get up to a certain point and you will die on the mountain. And that's super sad. And so, guys and girls, I think that, and also this is the other thing to consider. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Do not quit. I think it's okay to take a pivot. And I've done my fair share of that in the last little while. It's okay to pivot, but I think at the end of the day, if I was to walk away from this and go and work as a manager down Home Depot, I'd hurt someone probably. It's just I can't do the predictability. I can't do the predictability, and I love the autonomy, and I actually enjoy the responsibility that if it is to be, it is up to me. And so, there's all kinds of factors around my world that shit in my nest and make life difficult for me. But on the flip side, there's a whole bunch of good people in my life as well that absolutely make the grind worth it. Guys and girls, if you've got any questions, hit me up, max@elitebusinessadvisory.com. If you want to get across to the website and book a 30-minute consultation with me, I'd love to hear from you. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. Get across to Business for Builders VIP. If you are a apprentice, a subcontractor, or a builder, general contractor, would love to let you in there if you're a good sort. And be sure to think about seriously, and this is where we want to have a chat, because I absolutely believe as a 25-year-old, 31-year-old, 38-year-old, 50-year-old, if I was drilling down in the building game, mate, you've got to have a coach. No different, you've got to have a good financial advisor, good legal counsel. Absolutely having a business coach is somebody that can look at your business unemotionally and objectively, have a framework of training and skill development and systemization that is going to help you take your business from where it is currently to level kick-ass, whatever that is for you. So have a really strong think about that. And on this, I want to finish with this. This is something I just thought about. I've been considering announcing this, but I want to just throw it out there because, I understand, and I have to do this. There is, my business coaching service is a fee for service. However, I want to try and, this is why I've done this for, 150 episodes before I launched Elite Business Advisory. And, I was just giving away stuff until the market, 30 or 40 emails, I just had to do something and set a business up that was going to cater for those certain business people. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't really think you've got the budget, and I'm telling you that probably if you're under $500,000 in revenue, you're probably going to struggle, unless you've got deep pockets, of course. I don't want you to stay away. Come talk to me. But I'm telling you, I am making some inquiry now on top of what I've done to look at what I can do in the way of group webinars or masterminds or roundtables. So, I'm not sure of the infrastructure. It's something I've just been pondering because I know what I charge for one-on-one business coaching. But if you think there's some merit between this free podcast and YouTube channel and everything that we do, and we can just take it up a notch and make it more affordable, then I would love to. I want your feedback. I am not going to throw down. This is what I did. I'm not going to try and generate something. I want you guys and gals as the audience to let me know. And I'm telling you, there'd be only limited spots. If I put a mastermind group together, it'd be like 10. I just can't, I'm not going to be able to, deliver you an acceptable level of service along with all the obligations and meet those obligations as well. But I am absolutely enthusiastic about, helping you find out what level of will you have to drive a business, but also then, look at what skills you need to develop in conjunction with the ones you're already good at and go from there. So I think I've ticked all the boxes. Go build a kick-ass business, and I'll see you on episode 162. See ya.